What up, family? Y'all see we got Dr. Insanity once again.
Yes.
We got cops discover an evil husband's horror house of horrors. Wow. Evil husband house of horrors. This one about to be crazy.
You had to sit back.
You gotta sit back. Make sure wherever you at, it was kind of nippy. You got a little throw or something like that. Got your snacks. You know, we always say get your snacks or whatever like that.
Get your drinks, juice, coffee, tea, whatever.
And get ready to chill and relax. So let's dive
Get into this video.
Let's get it.
911, what's your emergency?
Hey, I'm a bus driver and one of my students just passed me a note that says his mother needs help and that his dad is hurting her.
Okay, do you have an address?
Yeah, they live on, it's the first house when you turn into the neighborhood.
Okay, officers are being dispatched now. Can you stay with the child until law enforcement arrives?
Yeah, so I'm just parked outside the neighborhood. I'll stay here.
This is what the Las Cruces Police Department were informed of on April 23rd, 2021. Just the night before, Veronica had endured 12 hours of what could only be described as a living hell, all because of her abusive boyfriend, Eric Alvarado. At this point, fearing for her and her children's life, the main thing on her mind was to call the police. But Eric had confiscated her phone and refused to let her leave his sight. However, Eric and Veronica's son still had to go to school. This gave Veronica an idea that would save her and her family's life.
Can you explain to me what's going on today?
Last night he was taking me a lot.
He was taking?
And so with the pillows, he picked me up. He got my head against the cabinet, and then he's on top of here.
What?
And then my kids were screaming and crying, and he said that he was either I die or he's gonna have a with you guys.
Veronica is clearly distressed and just thankful that the cops are here to save her. In fear of her life, she wrote a note behind Eric's back saying that she was in danger and to call 911. She passed this note to her kids in hopes someone from their school would call the police. The note was given to a bus driver who immediately called the Las Cruces Police Department. The cops need to know exactly what happened. Veronica just told them that Eric would have a shootout with the cops if they came, so they know they're dealing with someone either dangerous or delusional. Something they would quickly find out.
Were you trying to get away from him, or what happened?
I just started doing whatever he asked me. He would even tell me to follow him to the bathroom when he needed the bathroom. He would make me pick up the seat for him.
Damn, what the
He said, "Are you gonna let me?" And then I was just like, "Let me either." And then I was crying for my mom because he really think I would do that.
You didn't try to get out, and he didn't forcefully try to keep you
I was
from
like,
leaving?
I've tried before, and it never works. So I just stayed quietly and I stayed up on the bed. I rolled the bed to try to get away, and he would just pull me closer and hug me.
Okay.
But I didn't have a phone to call you guys, so I just only.
What happened to your phone?
He has it.
Yeah, he probably most likely.
Takes it. I think off that I'm gonna call the cops.
Okay, so the marks on your face, is that from him, or?
Mm-hmm.
Is that from... Okay.
And then.
Listen to exactly what Veronica is saying. It's obvious that this isn't just a one-time thing. She's using phrases like, "I've tried before and it never works," implying that she'd almost given up trying to escape him. This is known as learned helplessness, a condition where an abused person starts to believe that they're powerless to save themselves because of the repeated abuse and perceived lack of control. Unfortunately, it's more common than you might think. On average, it takes 7 tries for a victim to escape their abuser, and every single one of these failed attempts would start to make them feel more and more powerless, as though control of their life is slowly slipping away. Given that Veronica has a 5-year-old son with Eric, the abuse might have been going on for years, with her essentially resigning her fate to his violence and manipulation. If that's the case, then her son's actions should be even more celebrated, finally freeing his own mother from a relentless cycle of abuse.
Can you explain to me what happened first yesterday.
We were arguing. I think he was just more frustrated because he was yelling at the kids and then he started to get upset with me. He got upset because I didn't cook, grabbed himself something to eat, and he told me to.
It's like basically she his slave.
Yeah, basically.
Come to the bathroom, he put the toilet seat
Put
up,
the
I'm about
toilet
to use
seat
the
up.
standing.
God.
What led to all this from when it first started out? Because you had kids with him.
That's
Was
how
it
they
forcefully?
You can never know. It might. He probably played us good, like, oh, I'm a good man and all that stuff, and then something just switching. He's,
Yeah, that's
That's how
that
it
does
be
happen.
sometimes,
That's
you
true.
know?
That is true.
Garbage and give it to him, but it could have had the baby in the bed and laid it down. She was getting upset every time he walked out.
Okay.
And then so I came in here all mad talking shit, and
Okay.
I was right there by the microwave, and he slammed it to close it because he had his food in there. I was gonna heat it up, and he told me to shut up, and then he got up and pulled me from my hair and pushed my head toward the cabinet in my head, like when like that, and that's why it's swollen right here. When like that, and my eyebrow hit right here.
Veronica continued to tell the officer about that night's abuse, how he choked her, threw her around, and grabbed hold of her so hard that she couldn't force his hand away to save herself.
Yeah, I was holding onto his arm, but he lifted me up because he's so strong. He lifted me up and he slammed me on the counter. My kids were crying at the same time as my oldest son came out.
What did you feel when you grabbed your knife?
I don't know, like I was like trying to fight to get it off, and all of a sudden like my body just started feeling weak.
Feeling weak?
Yeah, and I felt like I was underwater and I couldn't breathe. And I was just like trying to calm him down, like, oh baby, I love you, please stop, this is not. But I was just like, because I already know how he is.
Directly after being choked almost to death, she's still pleading with him and telling him that she loves him. Obviously, it can't be discounted that this was just an act to get him to stop, but again, this is a very common reaction. Eric has likely used either love bombing or intermittent reinforcement to manipulate Veronica. Love bombing involves initially showering the victim with affection and attention, forming attachment quickly,
gifts.
and intermittent reinforcement involves quickly alternating between kindness and cruelty. Both of these create a powerful emotional bond and dependency on the abuser, making it much harder to leave, despite making her feel like this.
Talking about, are you scared to die? And I'm like, yes. He's like, how does it feel? Because you almost died. You know, it's just like,
Crazy.
if it just hurts and painful, he's like, why are you scared to die? Like, and then I said, because my kids.
But the last little piece of information the cops get might just be the most important one, and unravel why tonight's abuse got so out of hand.
From PTSD,
Okay.
depression.
And he hasn't took his medication either.
Bipolar depression and
He has a lot, and I had to take so much because he has anxiety, but
Got a lot going on.
yeah. So the only thing that set him off was the whole him not having food ready and all that.
no, it was the kids who was yelling at my son, and that if anything gets him upset, he gets really, really upset.
Apparently, Eric suffers from PTSD, depression, anxiety, and bipolar. He's supposed to take a litany of meds to keep him stable, but that night, he hadn't taken any of them. Of course, this isn't an excuse for his behavior, nor is it to be assumed that many bipolar people would ever act in this manner, but it could be a possible explanation for the severe and continued abuse.
How long have you been with him?
I can see it kind of being like I'm not giving him no pass, but a lot of people, when they take those kind of medicines and stuff like that, they stop taking them because they feel like they don't have to take them. And they know that they're going to act up, but I can't really explain, but they just don't want to take those things. So when you're not taking, you got bipolar going on, you got depression, anxiety, PTSD, all that going on at the same time, just kicking in, and then you flipping out on her. I'm glad he didn't unalive her.
Man, I'm glad. I'm glad to catch him at the right time.
Yeah.
For the severe and continued abuse.
How long have you been with him?
On and off for 7 years. There's a time when he sent me to the hospital, but I didn't try.
So you
I
never.
felt bad because he always calls me just like, I'm sorry, and this is that.
So
I'm a sick
has he
Manipulator.
ever been charged with domestic or anything like that? He has? In Las Cruces or New Mexico?
With his ex-girlfriend.
Okay, but not with you.
Yeah. And a lot of times I drop the charges because I feel bad.
Eric is clearly dangerous and needs to be locked up, but that all depends on if Veronica is going to press charges this time or let herself be manipulated out of it again.
Press
But
charges.
before she can even make that decision, the other cop comes into the room and lets them know that they need EMTs on the scene immediately.
When you were standing up and you started, I don't know if he was making him do something. Is that normal for
Does
him?
he have
He gets like that when he's really upset. And he's not acting in an angry way. He does that, and sometimes like he'll fall on me, and like I can't pick him
Oh,
up.
okay.
so panic attacks are normal for him?
It's been happening all week.
She says he has knives in the drawer, so.
It seems as though Eric has had a panic attack and needs help from a medic. The thing is, the cops can't be sure if this is a genuine reaction or another way to try and guilt and manipulate Veronica, but either way,
Right.
they get the fire department on the scene to check him out.
Does he need to go to the hospital, boys?
Go ahead and just get him out there.
Oh, he's wanting to go. What do you think?
We're trying to just take the blood pressure, that's about it. His oxygen's good right now, it's at 98%. Heart rate's fine, a little elevated at 98, but nothing.
So what do you think?
Do you take your medications for PTSD and the depression?
No, what?
Do you take medications for it? Are you current on your medications? So I always recommend heading up to the hospital, especially because he has like PTSD, bipolar depression.
Medically, everything seems fine with Eric, but they still decide to take him to the hospital temporarily at his request. In the meantime, Veronica is now curious about the rest of the process and has made a decision on if she's going to press charges.
He bonds himself out.
Okay.
He told me that I'm starting to remember a little bit. It's like, I didn't think I'm gonna be that long in fucking jail. I get bonded up real fucking quick.
See, he knows.
So I know you said you want a restraining order, so we'll work on getting that. Usually it's going to be an emergency restraining order.
Are we able to press charges on him?
So in situations like this, it's up to the state to pursue charges. So usually we go through with, no matter if we have charges, we're gonna go through with the charges whether you want to or not.
I should have pressed charges when I couldn't even open my eyes.
Emergency restraining orders are common in cases of domestic violence, especially where there's children involved. Courts are often available 24/7 for the filing of these, and in open and shut cases like these, they'll usually get approved on the same day. That means that Eric physically won't be allowed near Veronica, her kids, and likely their home unless he goes through a rigorous legal procedure. But it turns out that might not even matter, as it looks like he's heading straight to jail.
It isn't going to be a 48 for him. He's going to be cleared already.
As long as he's clear, he should be fine. He's gonna bring me the ERO.
Hey, can I get a district court judge for the ERO?
From this point, the officer fills out the restraining order and takes care of some other paperwork and investigation around the house. But the day isn't over for Eric yet. Far from it. He was taken to the hospital, but as the officer figured, he was discharged almost as soon as he got there. That meant that it was his turn in the spotlight, and he was handed over to the police, who were going to make sure that he got exactly what he deserved.
Stand up, face me. Turn around for this officer. Turn around for him, brother.
I gotta piss, bro.
Alright, well, before we take you in, alright, you're gonna be placed under arrest, okay? CID is the one that are gonna take you to charges. Unfortunately, I don't know them. So you are gonna be served a
Emergency restraining order. I would suggest not contacting her, writing her, going to the house, none of that.
As the officer mentioned, the case was handed over to CID, or the Criminal Investigation Division. In even simpler terms, the detectives. Usually a case is passed over the CID if the crimes were particularly severe, or if it requires the specific resources or skills the CID have. In this case, it's very likely the chronic abuse and psychological manipulation that warranted their intervention. As to truly unpack what happened here, it would require an expert to dig deep and use their skills to figure everything out. That's why less than an hour after he was released from the hospital, he was sat face to face with a detective that was about to grill him for his side of the story. Unfortunately, Eric didn't exactly make that easy, and it ended with him back in handcuffs and on his way to a cell.
Eric, Detective Bardo, Las Cruces Police Department. How you doing?
What happened last night? Okay, so you're here for a reason, and I'm here with you for a reason, and that's to get your side story. If you're gonna tell me nothing, I'm gonna go ahead and leave and proceed my investigation. So right now, this is your chance.
What am I being charged with?
I'm not there yet,
What's
but I'm in an investigation. I'm investigating you.
I don't feel good, man.
Okay.
I want to go
All
back.
I'm gonna take you back to the holding cell, okay? So the last thing that I need to do is get your side of the story. Since you're not gonna give that to me, I'm gonna go ahead and charge you with 3 counts of aggravated battery on a household member. 2 of them are strangulation, the other one's gonna be suffocation. Or 2 of them be suffocation, one's gonna be strangulation. Battery on a household member, and also deprivation of property to a household member. 3 of the 5 are gonna be felonies. Okay?
What? Why are they felonies? What did I do? That?
What you what?
Why?
You wanna talk to me about it?
But like, what did I do? What did you say?
I don't know, you were there.
Careful, you missed the meeting.
You were there.
Nothing. I didn't do nothing, bro.
Okay.
I did nothing
Then
for
stay
her.
with that. Stay with that story.
I want to know what the
I'm not gonna tell you anything because you don't want to tell me anything.
As it turned out, Eric would only be charged with 2 counts of aggravated battery of a household member, 1 count of battery against a household member, and deprivation of property. And with Eric safely in cuffs and in a holding cell, the police had only one more job to do to put Veronica's mind at ease.
Hello?
May I speak to Veronica, please?
This is her. Yes?
Okay, just real quick, I wanted to let you know that I'm gonna go ahead and charge Eric. He's gonna have 3 felonies, which is gonna be aggravated battery on a household member. 2 of them are strangulation, one's gonna be strangulation, the other one's gonna be battery on a household member, and the other one's deprivation of property of a household member. So, another thing, I'm asking the officer to call a Sky Report to CYFD. Because of what he exposed the children to. They'll probably just reach out to you, ask to see the conditions of the house, make sure that they're suitable for the children.
I know because of what happened, but then at the same time, I don't know how to say this. I accept what you're doing, but there won't be any way he can see his kid.
There will be, but it's got to be in different terms now. The way you guys had it, obviously didn't work because look what he's exposing the children to.
As of July 2024, Eric Alvarado is still awaiting sentencing and is being held without bond. However, based on his charges and history, it's estimated he'll likely spend up to 8 years behind bars. With intervention and checks by CPS, the children will also receive treatment and care for any trauma or abuse caused by their father, and Veronica will finally be free of the horrific treatment caused by her evil husband. And remember, none of this would have happened if not for what Veronica's 5-year-old son did that morning, being brave and strong enough to reach out to save his mom, changing his whole family's lives in one heartwarming and heroic move.
Big hero.
Right.
Shout out to little man.
Mm-hmm. Good thing he's able to get out of that situation. I don't know. She was like saying like, is he gonna be able to see his kids? Like,
I wouldn't. If I was her, I wouldn't care about him seeing his kids. And I would explain to the kids what happened. Is you wouldn't want a monster like that want to see the kids. He didn't care about you. Apparently, he didn't care about the kids. He probably would end up unaliving you or the kids. Flipping out like that, acting crazy.
Trying to take himself out of here too. So
yeah, so you just need to stay far away from all of us.
Yeah.
And I hope he actually got 8 years, because you know how they turn things around. I hope he actually got time, and she could get herself together and move away.
So he can't track her back to that scene.
Nothing.
So he can go back to that scene, not track her back, but go to that location where she at.
That had to be scary. Getting all that.
Yeah.
Y'all let us know how y'all feel about that case down below in the comment section. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Let's build a big family over here. We love y'all. We catch y'all next one.
Catch y'all next one.